Hello again, my crafty friends. It's Terry here from Tez Creates, here for Fairy Stamper, and today I'm going to be using a few stamps that I haven't used yet, and plus some that I have. So I got this gorgeous wishing well, which I've always had a thing about wishing wells and sundials, funnily enough. But yeah, so I haven't used this one yet. And I'm kind of thinking of doing like a nighttime scene. I'm going to be using Distress Oxides. I love this sentiment, this once upon a time. It just reminds me of children's books and the way that the first page of a new story would start. This is a 5x7 piece of card that I've cut down, so I'm sort of thinking of having this slightly off-centered and this here, and then I've pulled out my hanging vines and my leafy scrolls. So I think it'd be nice to have some hanging vines. I might not use the leafy scrolls, it just depends. And the Condo Dwellers, so these are the Condo Dwellers 2. I haven't used these yet. I want these flying all around the wishing well. And also I've got some of the sparkle dust. So I want it to sort of be like the little fairies are flying around and spreading the sparkle dust, and sort of imbuing the water with magical properties. So I'm going to heat emboss the Once Upon a Time and the sparkle dust, and probably the fairies as well. So yeah, so the first thing that I need to do is to do this ink blended background. So I've recently bought myself a bundle of blending brushes in different colours, so I'm starting to use like one for each colour family. This is some Bristol Smooth cardstock, which is quite good for ink blending. It's because it's quite smooth. So what shall I use? I'll use this brush because I haven't used this one yet. So these are just the 4 colours I've picked out initially. I might end up going in and picking out some more colours, but that's fine. I'm also planning on doing some, I've got some grassy borders. I think it's by Lawn Fawn. Grassy hillsides, there's a few in there. So I think I'm going to die cut some grass and put it along the bottom, because obviously we've got some grass here, but I'm thinking that I'm just going to cut a panel of grass and have that at the bottom. That's what I'm thinking at this point, but as we know, with card making, things evolve, so who knows at this point. I've got a vague plan and we shall see where it ends up. So I hope you're all well anyway. I'm filming this, where are we? We're right near the end of August actually, so I'm getting quite getting prepared in advance. It's my birthday next week. Had a little family gathering yesterday, which was really nice. Not got a massive family, but it was just lovely for us to all get together and have some food and just spend time together. And I haven't laughed that much in a good long while. It was lovely. It was really nice. So I sort of woke up this morning before my alarm went off, really happy, just in a really good mood and just feeling very, very grateful, really. Yeah. Just looking to see if I've got a darker green. I don't think I have in the Distress Oxide. I might add, what could I add? How about adding a bit of brushed corduroy, some dark brown, some like a light brown. That might darken up the green a bit, mightn't it? An experiment. I'm still building up my collection of Distress Oxides. I've got more in the regular distress inks, and obviously I've got other brands of inks as well. It's just that distress oxide inks do blend really well and quickly, so that's sort of why I've chosen them today. Really, I wanted to make something, but I didn't want to be spending hours and hours making it. Right, so I've gone over it with a bit of brushed corduroy, so I'm going to go back in with the bundled sage and see if that makes it any darker. Kind of. And actually, I am going to have some browns going around the sides, around the edges, because for like trees. So I've got that one. I've got ground espresso and walnut stain. Okay, so I'm going to try just some different browns. I might end up stamping some trees. I've got, yeah, the birch trees maybe. So it's just going to be quite a sort of ethereal kind of thing to it, just sort of like not, you know, just sort of background colour and texture and different layers, you know, just using some different colours to build up some texture and interest in the background, which sort of will vaguely sort of look like trees and then like vaguely sort of look like a sunrise and sky, but obviously the main feature is going to be the wishing well, the fairies and the once upon a time. Let's go some walnut stain. Yeah, I'm liking this, sort of looking like different tree trunks of different colours. Right, I'm just going to try this ground espresso, and then I'm going to do the rest in sky, I think. The rest in sky, you know what I mean. I'm going to have that portion as being sky. Right, so let's come back with that. In fact, I'm going to use the acetate because I do find that using the acetate is really quite useful. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll notice that I've said that a few times. I'm not going to have the bucket. I'm going to have the once upon a time around here. So I think I want the sunrise to be around here. Yeah. Put a bit of festive berries in around, I think. Want it to be a sort of orangey. So I'm just continuing to try and build the sky now. I'm sort of doing it with, oh, I've just put my yellow into my orange there. I'm just trying to build up my sky scene. I added some red because I didn't think I had any orange, but then I remembered that I did have some orange. I just only had the re-inker carved pumpkin, but I bought myself some of the blank do-it-yourself oxide thingies. So I did it myself. So I am going to go in with a bit of mustard seed because that scattered straw, I just want it to be a bit brighter. As you know, I've introduced the red and the orange. I've just completely got carved pumpkin all over my hands whilst doing the re-inking. I didn't realise how messy it was. I've never re-inked an ink pad before. And yeah, it's gone everywhere. But never mind, if the end result is good, that's fine. Let's go in with a bit of Dusty Concord now. Oh, no, that's a distress ink, not a distress oxide. That's not what we want. I'll go for seedless preserves. Starting to look a bit like a hot mess at the moment, but I'm sure it will get better. I've sort of got a vision in my mind of what it's going to look like, so it's just a matter of keep working at it. So I'm going to keep on working at it, and I'll see you back in a little while when we get to do the stamping. Okie dokie, so I finished ink blending my background, and it looks a bit of a mess at the moment, but once all the images are stamped, I think it's going to look really nice. So I figured out that that's where I want my wishing well to be, and the once upon a time sentiment around here. I am obviously going to trim it down a little bit to put onto a 5x7 card blank, so I'm just trying to be aware of that in terms of where I'm positioning things. And then I'm going to be using my VersaFine like little mini pigment inks. So I'm using Vintage Sepia for the wishing well. And then I'm going to colour in with pencil crayons, and then I've got two different colour greens for the hanging vines. So I've got Olympia green and Spanish moss, and then I'm going to use the grass dye that I mentioned before, and cut that out probably in a couple of shades of green, and put that around there. So that is the plan, guys. So I've got I'll take that off now and use the other magnet, so that in order to ensure that the panel was dry enough, because I'm going to be doing some heat embossing, I heat set it with my heat gun. So it has warped the paper a little bit, which is fine. It's normal. It'll be fine once it's stamped. So yeah, but I still want to try and make sure it's inside the in the corner as much as it possibly can be. So there we go. Yeah, I'm happy enough with that. Great, okie dokie. So it's nice, isn't it? It's like the sun is rising just behind there. So I'm going to heat emboss the fairies and the Once Upon a Time in gold. I think that'll be really cute. Okay, so here we go. I stamped the hanging vines in the 2 different greens all around the sides and the top, and then I used the leafy scrolls along the bottom. I was looking for one die set of some grass that I've got that's like this, and then I found a die set that I forgot that I had, which has loads of different ones. So I've actually used these bottom 2 ones here, one in a very dark green, which will go here, and then one in a slightly lighter green but still dark, which will go over the top there. But before sticking those down, I'm going to heat emboss Once Upon a Time, and I'm going to position my fairies and get them heat embossed as well. So I'll do the heat embossing before the gluing, again because I am going to trim off a little bit. So I want to make sure that I position things in a so that nothing important gets chopped off, basically. So that one will look nice there. We've got a very cute little fairy here. This one sort of looks like she could be landing on the roof. That looks cute. Yeah, there we go. So I've got 5 little condo dwellers. We'll have our Once Upon a Time. Here. Excellent. Right, so got the position of those all correct. So what I need to do is use my anti-static powder tool all over this to make sure that nothing sticks to where it's not supposed to. And then once they've been heat embossed, I'll do some colouring up of the wishing well. Probably using pencil crayons and or gel pens. Nice firm press everywhere. There we go. Okay, so my my wishing well must still be damp, even though I've heat set it, because powder all stuck to the roof. But I'll wipe it away. It would have looked quite cool with a gold roof, to be fair. There we go. I think that looks really nice, actually. Yeah, so there are a few places here, for example, that have got some of the embossing powder, but I think that just adds to it, actually. Yeah, a bit of the leaf here. I say it's just one of those things. Sometimes powder just goes where you don't want it to go, but overall, I'm really happy with that. So what I'm going to do now is just trim down the card panel a little bit, stick on the grass, and then just do a bit of basic colouring to colour over the stones and the water of the well, and you know, to differentiate the roof so it doesn't, you can't see the sky poking through it. And then I'll be back in a moment with the finished card. And here we go, my friends, the completed card. I'm really pleased with how this turned out, actually. The sky has turned out like much better than I expected. I think it's I'm still getting used to oxides, actually, and just they do take a while to dry, but once they've dried, the blend that you can get with them is absolutely stunning. And I really like the hanging vines all around there, and I like the addition of the die cuts. I think it just gives it quite a bit of dimension. I'm trying to give you all different angles because these fairies are really nice and shiny, as is the Once Upon a Time. But in some lights, if the light's shining on it in a certain way, the Once Upon a Time was getting a little bit lost amongst the hanging vines. So I went round it with the Sakura Starburst Jelly Roll pen, and that helped a bit, but I still felt it just needed to be more accentuated. So I went round with a white Jelly Roll pen. Seeing a little bit that I need to adjust. There we go. Yeah. So I've just gone round the sentiment and the fairies in the white Jelly Roll pen and the Sakura one as well. So there is sparkle there and white. And then I've also added little highlights in the Sakura Sparkle Dust Jelly Roll pen on the grass as well, and some of the sort of foliage. Around the wishing well as well. So I'd love to know what you think. So feel free to leave me any comments that you have in the comment section below. I think with this one, because I've put so many layers on, I mean, there's 2 layers of quite thick card, and then this is a decent sized thick card as well. With this, I would put a decent sized thickness panel of probably just white card on the inside to balance it out, because it is a bit top heavy. Look, see, it's wanting to fall over like that because it's quite top heavy. So in order to give that out to somebody, I would need to sort of even it up. But just a little tip for you, if you're finding that you're adding a lot of stuff onto the front panel of your card. But yeah, so that's all from me today, and I will see you in another 2 weeks with another fairy stamper video. So take care, everybody. Bye for now.